Osun obstacle governorship election has come and gone, and it has left a lot of lesson. Also, it's a case study for 2027 general election. If you critically look at it, you make an in-depth data collation, analyze it, and make your findings, then you will believe with me that it has left a lot of case study which a politicians in 2027 has to also work on it. And if you look at the higher level of security development for that up-cycle election, more than 40 to 50,000 security personnel were deployed for that Osun up-cycle election, which is not good for democracy. And also, vote buying, it has serious negative effect in the sustainability of democracy in Nigeria. And also, it's a litmus test for INEC ahead of 2027 general election, because the Osun governorship election is the last off-cycle election Independent National Electoral Commission will conduct before 2027 general election. So it has shown a lot of commitment on the part of the INEC. From my findings and my observations, INEC have improved in the previous off-cycle election with the new technological advancement and also the new enacted electoral act and the new election guideline manuals. If you look at how the election started, accreditation, they accredit and vote, it was going simultaneously. And also the collation at the ward level, the collation at the local government collation center, and also at the collation at the state collation center. The result was announced within 24 hours of the conduct of the election, which has not gave more room for manipulation and changing of figures. The way the result was announced at the polling unit, and the way it was transmitted using BBAS and RF, it has shown that now I have improved in their technological development, and it has given more hope to the electorate that their votes have been counted as expected. But the issue of militarization and the heavy deployment of the security personnel at the polling unit, at the collation center, many checkpoints in and outside the Osun state capital, all the state that share boundaries with the Osun state, there is heavy deployment of security checkpoint, and it was blocked. So the deployment of the heavy security personnel during the election scare away the voters from voting. It also increased the vulnerability of the voters of going to the polling unit to vote for fear of intimidation. If you look at the total numbers of registered voters and also total number of PBC collated in Osun State, you come to believe with me, no matter even the voters' education and the mobilization by all the party candidates, still the turnout is not up to 50%. It's from 44 to 45%. statistically. So it means that the security personnel and the higher level of the political violence and thuggery before the election, a serving senator of the people of Nigeria make an implementary statement that if an member of accord is seen during the election, should be killed by APC member. It caused a lot of worry by any respected Democrat in this country, because issue of election is not do or die, but you should have to allow the constituent, the electorate, to decide who is their choice or who they want to vote. So if you look at the election, it was highly competitive. As I have said, they have about 2.3 million voters. But the total number of votes casted is about 1 million something. And the total number of ballot votes is about 950 something thousand. That shows that the more than 1.3 million or more than that have been disfranchised, or they have not been allowed to exercise their civic right or right to vote. So in this issue of election is a competitive game where you should allow people to freely exercise their constitutional right as enshrined in Nigerian constitutional right to vote. But when you had deployed too much security, making a lot of inciting or implementary statement that will scare voters from going to the polling booth to vote because of fear of being intimidated or being harassed or being killed, it means to encourage voters' apathy. So if you look at the issue of also vote buying is a serious disaster to the sustainability of democratic governance in Nigeria. The National Assembly and Independent National Electoral Commission and the anti-graft agencies, including other security agencies, have to come in synergy to do everything humanly possible to fight this vote buying ahead of 2027 general election, because it has a serious implication. It shows that only those who have the deepest pocket that can run an election in Nigeria and win. People who are very credible, people who are very potential, people who has a very good track record cannot join politics and win election because they don't have godfather or because they are not money bags or they don't have a deepest pocket. A lot of people has a lot of potentials. They have something to offer to salvage this country in terms of giving good governance. There are many people who are learned, people who are very credible, who are very trustworthy, who are honest and sincere, but they don't have a deepest pocket. Because when you are talking of, look at what happened in Osun State. They were buying both 20,000, 30,000. If you calculate, if you are to buy, let's say, the number of votes got by APC candidate, 440 something thousand. If you times it to 20,000, take away the 30,000. If you times even, let's say 300 votes, people vote on their own. That is, they just use it from their conscience. But let's say 140,000 votes are being the one voted by the candidate. is more than, you are talking of 2.8 billion naira. If you look at also the number of votes who the incumbent governor got, 550-something,000. If you take away, let's say, 300 also thousand votes, say people vote from their conscience, from their mind, because they believe that the governor have done well, you calculate 250,000 votes to 20,000. You are talking of 5 billion naira. So we have government and the security agencies and INEC and all the anti-graft agencies has to come together to change a pattern of how to checkmate the excesses of vote buying. During the Second Republic, nobody knows anything about vote buying. Because what encouraged vote buying is because people bought openly. That it was Jega who introduced that cubicle something where to go and vote. Whatever you bought, people see it. So from there, if an agent of APC, ADC, Accord Party is in the polling booth, he is in good positions to see what we have voted for. Because the cubic something, or the cubicle, what they call it, cubicle something, where they bought the polling booth, it's not well secured where you can go and vote, nobody is seeing you. All the party agents are there. When you vote for PDP or APC or any other political party, the agent of that party will see that, then they will give you the 20,000 or 30,000.
So will you say that?
So, and also, if you look at what happened also, voters are now well educated, or now they have voted for their conscience. Upon all the money the other parties gave, 20,000, 30,000, people vote for their conscience. The voice of the people has spoken, and it has this issue of Osun election have now shown that any governor who have not served well, who has not delivered dividend of democracy to the constituent or the electorate, that he should ready to prepare his handing over or not ahead of 2027. The issue of defecting from PDP to APC, some defected to political parties are strategic because of the internal party crisis they have. Some defected to party because of their opportunities or opportunistic. Just they want to get this federal might to the election. So of the senators, but they are not credible. They are not also they are not rooted on the ground. So the issue of this vote buy, I have said earlier, government have to do everything humanly possible to see how they can fight it drastically.
What do you think the commission can also do? Because you made mention of the tenure of Jega introducing the ballot box, the open ballot box, where
open ballot or open polling booth.
Yes, can easily see, and then they begin to influence those electorates on which party to vote for.
Yes.
So, watching this election in Osun State and look at the assessment so far, the conduct, will you say that 2027 election will be safe? Don't you think we'll have more of the crisis, vote buying and all that crisis that took place during the polls?
The major impediment we're having in this country now, especially on the issue of the election, is the issue of this vote buying is very disastrous to the sustainability of democracy in Nigeria. Because I have said earlier, many people have the good heart, they are God fearing, they have the willing, and they have also the managerial talent to turn around the economy of that state. But because they don't have a deep pocket, that they cannot run election because of this issue of vote buying. And the power end in the hands of gangsters, fraudsters, people who has a record of corruption before they emerge into the public office. So the government has to do everything humanly possible to fight this canker of this vote buying. I have seen serious danger in the survival of democracy in Nigeria if this disease called vote buying has not been fought drastically. So Jega introduced this issue of open boot system because of transparency. But you know, whatever you introduce, it will have advantage and disadvantage. The major disadvantage of that open polling booth system, cubicle, is this issue of vote buying. And if government also can deploy more than 40-something thousand security personnel in just an off-cycle election in a state, why can't government deploy heavy security to go and fight terrorism and armed banditry in the northwest, or in the south, or in the northeast, or in the north central? Government have wasted a lot of money, funds, in billions in this off-cycle election, but they cannot invest heavily in the fight against insecurity in the northwest. You understand? It's a serious show of shame. It means that election is more valued than the human lives and the security of the country. Nigeria is still on the gun fodder. Why you see an illiterate, armed bandit, heartless criminal demanding 100 million for an ordinary university lecturer. Yesterday, a lecturer was last week was kidnapped from Kaduna from his house. After payment of 11 million ransom, they said that 11 million is for feeding, it's for his feeding and buying of the church card. That they should pay additional 100 million. So it's a shame when you can deploy thousands of security personnel for off-cycle election. You cannot deploy 5,000 security personnel to Zamfara State, or to Kebbi State, or to Sokoto State, or to Katsina State, or to Kaduna State to go and fight armed bandits and kidnappers in their hideout.
So what is the way out?
It is so ridiculous, and I don't like the way government have been doing that. I'm a member of APC, but I cannot shy away from saying the truth. So, and on the issue of INEC need to improve. INEC with this election is my own personal opinion that I have looked at it. INEC now have been an unbiased empire in this election, because the way the high spirit and the speed APC governors and other APC bigwig have been going to Osun, people have anticipated that election is not going to be free and fair and credible. But with the way how the Accord Party and also the way ADC and other political parties stand still to protect their vote from the polling unit to the World Coalition Center, to local government coalition center and state coalition center, it has not given room for any manipulation or any change of figures or any discrepancies. And the way also INEC transmitted the record, the result from the polling unit, that is from EC8A to EC8B, that is the World Coalition Center, to EC8C to EC8D and EC8E, that has now shown that INEC is unbiased and fair in this election. I have to say it without any equivocation.
Yeah, from the assessment, don't you think that this vote buy, if not Adeleke was strong enough, maybe he also has money to also secure some of the votes, don't you think that the APC would have been able to take this? And what if in 2027, and we have candidates who really have the mind to govern Nigeria, and they don't have such amount of money to spend on election day? What will be the hope of Nigerians?
No, you see, the outcome of this election will not clearly determine that Adeleke have used money to buy the conscience of the people of Osun State. If you have gone to Osun, Osogbo, the state capital before, you could believe with me that he have performed wonderfully in terms of infrastructural development, in terms of payment of pensions, salaries, and wages, and improving the welfare of the civil servant. He has done very well. He has shown, and the Osun State people have shown to Nigerians that they were educated, and also they have been they have bought for their conscience. In 2022, Adeleke was voted into office as PDP governorship candidate, and he defeated the Oyetola Boyega, who is an incumbent governor of APC. And in 2026, because of the internal crisis in PDP, he decided to join Accord Party. Most of the people in Nigeria, they don't even know Accord Party, because the party doesn't have structure. From scratch in Osun State, he took the party from scratch, built up the party. Within 1 year, the party is well known in Nigeria because of the Adeleke influence, and also his his nephew, Davido. Davido also take the bull by its horn and help his uncle to go around the state and campaign for him. He's a celebrity. Davido influence also have made the youth of the state to support him, not only in Osun State, all over the country. People have been praying for him, and he has done very well. So it has shown that the level of the voters' education, that people are learned, people are well educated, and they are wise. And it shows that if you are courageous enough, you have performed well, you have delivered the dividend of democracy, or you have fulfilled your electionary campaign, why will you be jumping from a PDP to APC? Why shouldn't you go to Accord or ABGA or any other political party? Those governors who have defected from PDP to APC, some other are opportunistic. There is not strategic. They just want to use federal might because they have not done anything. Upon all the withdrawal of the police subsidy, Tinubu government gave them enough money to deliver dividend of democracy. Most of them, 85% of them, have been supporting the money for personal enrichment. So it shows that this governor Adeleke have done well. If he has not done well, the people who bought him out, since the First Republic, Southwest are most educated people. Even before, during the pre-colonial masters, they were well educated. So they have a lot of professors, PhD holders. That it shows that these people are highly educated, and they knew what they are doing, and they have voted. They have not voted for Accord, but they voted for Adeleke because of his performance in office. Many of these governors, if it is going to be free and fair and credible election, will lose election in 2027. I'm telling you.
Alhaji, let me comment here. If Adeleke is actually strong enough and has this kind of influence, just as you have explained, why is Adeleke also supporting President President Tinubu? Why is he laying loyalty to Tinubu?
Yeah,
If he's not afraid.
you see, if you look at the historical background of Tinubu, his family background rooted from Osun State. Oyetole Boyega is his cousin. So maybe if you critically pan out, Adeleke may have some relation, a close direct or indirect relationship with Tinubu before even he become president or before he become a governor of Lagos. So his family were rooted from Osun State, but he built up his political career in Lagos State. So it shows you that Adeleke is fairly on ground. And if you look at the historical background, the political historical background of Adeleke family, even from the late Senator Isiaku Adeleke, the former governor of the blessed memory, they have a electoral value and they have financial value because they are rich family, and they maintain the good relationship. They touch base, irrespective of even Adeleke. He's a Christian. He's out of the country, but he still maintains base and relationship with all the religious faith in the Osun State. He go to mosque, he go to church, he maintains relationship with traditional rulers, with all civil society organizations. And also that the dancing stage he always dance, it gave me a lot of popularity. People like him for the dancing.
Will you say the relationship also affects or contributes to his victory in this last election?
The relationship with Tinubu, I can tell you, does not contribute anything to his victory, because Tinubu, as a CNC, he has a constitutional responsibility to protect the territorial integrity of this country. The way the security were deployed and the statement made by Tinubu before the election, it is his constitutional duty to make such statement. The INEC should be unbiased, INEC should be independent, and the security should maintain security of lives and property. He is discharged. He makes that statement as a president. And also, if you look at the margin, it is also a good litmus test for Tinubu even to win election in Osun State in 2027. Because ADC, people are looking at ADC as a threat in the Southwest, because Atiku is married to the Titi Abubakar from Osun State. But still with the result, if you look at it from the result, then in 2027, APC may carry the day. And with the endorsement of the governor, Accord Party maybe doesn't have a credible candidate who can match the record of the Mr. President. So the endorsement of Adeleke, of Tinubu as his presidential candidate ahead of 2027 general election will be a major boost for Tinubu in 2027 in Osun State, looking at the figures declared by INEC. If you add the support of the governor and also the support of the APC members, and they look at the family historical background of Tinubu from Osun State, automatically you come to believe with me that Osun State, APC will win Osun State in 2027.
Will you say President Tinubu will be bold enough to take action that he took during election in Osun State processes, where most of his accounts were freeze, and he requested that everybody should be given a level playing ground in 2027? Will he be able to do that? Will he be bold enough to take such action?
You see, the action taken by EFCC for freezing the account of Osun State government, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know the legality they have followed to freeze the account, and also to unfreeze the account following the directives of Mr. President. But morally, it is not right, because freezing the account it means that they have stopped all the activities of government. If at all they have been investigating the account of Osun State government, where are they freezing the account of the government during an election period? And also, if they have freezed the account, so can government not pay for some recurrent expenditure, that is salaries and wages of workers, and all other entitlement of the civil servants? It is morally wrong. So if they are investigating the account, if they are to freeze the account of Osun State government, in the 2027 election, let EFCC freeze all the account of state governments cut across the state, so that we know that they are playing their neutrality as enshrined in the EFCC Establishment Act. You understand? So people have seen that they are partisan. But that bold action taken by Mr. President, it has restored a lot of hope for other governors who are not in the fold of APC. So ahead of 2027 presidential election or general election, there is going to be alignment and realignment. Those who felt that if they join APC, they win election, they are deceiving themselves with the outcome of this election. Because if you are going to make a case study, you look at an in-depth of an event, or individual or group, collect data, analyze your data, interpret your data, and make your findings. Then when you make your findings, then it is now for you to also make decisions. So those who have failed in their responsibility as a governors, as a member of the House of Assembly, member of House of Reps, senators, with this litmus test of Osun up-cycle election, they should start packing. They should start packing. Because anybody who failed that, because he joined APC, Tinubu will celebrate him, or Tinubu will use the pyramid, it will not help him. Because the deployment of that heavy security personnel, they will not find it anywhere, because it is a general election. And there's more than 130,000 polling units. And in this polling unit, you have to deploy not the minimum of 2 security personnel. And you have to deploy checkpoints, not minimum or maximum than 500 meters away from every polling booth or collation center. So that security intimidation, manipulation, you may not find it there that during the general election. So people have to sit off. They should try and see how they can correct their mess. But a lot of people, I'm telling you, people are now well educated and they know how to vote. Like on my own case, I have been a senatorial aspirant for the Zamfara senatorial district. I'm also one of the main contender of that seat. But the national leadership of APC, in collaboration with the Minister of State for Defense and the state governors and former governors, modern democracy in a daylight by lying to Mr. President that Mr. President says he's enjoying working with the incumbent senator who was occupying that seat for 4 consecutive tenure, that is 16 years, and he wants to go for another term to make it 20 years. And also that seat of Senate since 1999 was domesticated in Kauran Namoda, and we have 4 local government, Birnin Magaji, Shinkafi, Zulmi, and Kauran Namoda. And since 1999, that seat is domesticated in one particular local government, has not rotated to other 3 local government. And that is what warranted me to come and aspire for that seat. And there was no primaries whatsoever. There was no consensus. We are not contacted. We are not consulted. Nobody lobbied us to drop our ambition. So I felt that someone like me, who on a highest academic qualification or PhD, you cannot just kick me out of the system and feel that I cannot go approach court and seek redress. So I followed the constitutional means to seek redress. We're in court. The Federal High Court also have fixed 31st August for judgment. So that problem have now warranted many serious candidates of the party to leave the party. Look at what happened in Gombe. A renowned Islamic cleric, a professor, very energetic, very learned person, God-fearing person, somebody who has a very good, rich CB, to turn around the economy of Gombe State. He was manipulated out of the party primaries. Look at what happened in Nasarawa State. How they just came before even they start selling a form, they endorse another candidate. Many people were molested, were intimidated by the incumbent governors. So that is a major setback for the party.
Okay, don't you think this?
Many people left the party. Many people left the party, but I decided to stay and fight for my right.
But these kind of cases, like yours, that of Nasarawa and Gombe, don't you think that these are bruises capable of jeopardizing the President Tinubu re-election in 2027?
It may and it may not.